Hey, I left something you're gonna like in your video machine.
Are we talking about Miss September?
Yes, in a word, nasty.
Is it hot?
Oh, it's hot.
Is it wet?
It's wet.
Is it smooth?
It's smooth.
Is it right?
Yes! You dog.
Welcome to another episode of Saturday Night Horror. Now tonight we're going to be watching a movie that I haven't seen in quite a few years, so I'm really excited to be watching it again. Tonight we're going to be watching the deep sea sci-fi horror film from 1989, DeepStar Six. Now like I said, this is one of those deep sea underwater horror movies, very claustrophobic, very uneasy, so I'm looking forward to it. Now DeepStar Six is about a kind of an experimental naval station at the bottom of the ocean, right on the ocean floor. They're building nuclear missile platforms. They're also looking into kind of colonizing the underwater scene, kind of colonizing the ocean floor. And without spoiling too much, we're just going to say something happens. A giant creature is released from a cavern underneath the seafloor and starts to wreak havoc on these poor people on the station. Now this movie, I've always loved it. I've always been highly entertained by it. Critics don't really like it too much. I think it's got a 0% on Rotten Tomatoes if you consider them a credible source. A lot of people thought the creature itself is goofy. A lot of people just didn't really care for the movie. I enjoyed it. 1989 was full of these deep sea horror movies. DeepStar Six was the first one to be released. So yeah, anyways, I enjoy it. Now as far as cooking goes tonight, I already cooked earlier, so I'm not going to do it now. I forgot to film it. Sorry. So yeah, with that being said, we're going to go out in the living room. We'll turn all the lights in the house off. And we're going to watch DeepStar 6. So let's go out there. Alright, we're out in the front room now, getting ready to watch DeepStar 6. So let's just cut this last light off. There we go. Alright, all the lights in the house are off. We are ready for DeepStar 6. Like I said, haven't seen this in quite a few years, so I'm excited about watching it tonight, and it should be a fun night, so let's go ahead and get it started. Alright, and Shadow decided to hop up on my lap here. I don't know if she's going to watch the movie or not. She'll probably go to sleep, but it's always nice to have one of the cats here. Yeah, she's going to take a nap. She's not going to make it. Everyone, DeepStar 6 is done. And it was a fun night, man. I really enjoyed this movie. Like I said, I haven't seen it in quite a few years, but it was definitely fun to watch. Now, critics and a lot of people really didn't care for this movie. You look online and it's got a lot of bad reviews. A lot of people crap on it. They say the story doesn't make sense. They even crap on the sea creature, the look of the sea creature, but it's not as bad as people make it out to be. The sea creature, it wasn't scary looking, but it wasn't goofy looking either. It was just, I mean, it's 1989. What are you going to do? And it was all practical effects, which I think is awesome. Like I said, I have no problem with CGI, but to me, practical effects are much better. I enjoy them more. So no problem with the way the creature looked. This cast of characters, surprisingly, there were some of them that I actually rooted for, some of them that I actually wanted to survive. And that's rare for me because usually the cast that we're supposed to care about in horror movies, I don't. But there were a few in this movie that I really wanted to make it. And of course there were some that I wanted them to meet their end. I wanted them to die, so I mean, it is what it is. But yeah, this movie, very claustrophobic. I'm claustrophobic myself, and my worst fear is drowning, so this movie just tore my nerves apart. Seeing these people trapped in this station at the bottom of the ocean, and it's starting to fall apart. Their life support is failing. They've got floods everywhere. It's a very uneasy movie to watch if you don't like water, if you're fear of drowning, if you're claustrophobic. This is a very uneasy movie, but I made it through, man. I enjoyed it. just seeing these people in that situation, I felt bad for them. I just, I will never go underwater in a deep sea lab ever. This movie is one reason why. And, man, it's just horrible to see that kind of situation. And they also I like how they brought into effect that they had an escape pod. They could have gone at any time. The only thing is they had to decompress first, and that will take hours. So I mean, if you can't just leave, you have to decompress, but at the same time, all your support systems are failing. So you have to try to get everything fixed so you can decompress, while at the same time dealing with this giant creature who is destroying your station, and you have flooding it going everywhere, your power's going out, so a heck of a mess, man. And one of the guys actually takes the escape pod before decompressing because he's losing his mind, and as he's going to the surface, you see what happens. You see why you need to decompress. He started bleeding out of all of his pores, and he just exploded. So man, DeepStar Six is a trip. If you like deep sea horror sci-fi movies, this is definitely for you. Like I said, the practical effects I thought were awesome. Most people don't, but that's fine. To each their own. But I have no complaints about DeepStar Six. It was really a good movie. Sean Cunningham was involved with it, and when I first saw it years ago, that's what originally got me interested in it. Seeing his name, and of course he's connected to Friday the 13th. That's what made me interested in this movie. I wanted to see what it's all about, and I was pleasantly surprised. So DeepStar Six, if you haven't seen it, do yourself a favor and go check it out. It's definitely worth it. Like I said, there's actually a couple people in the cast of characters that I actually rooted for, which is awesome. That's very rare for me. The creature effects I thought were pretty good. But yeah, DeepStar Six overall is a fun movie. It was a fun night. This is a movie I most definitely watch again. Now next week we're going to be watching a low-budget horror movie. I used to see it on basic cable all the time. Got it on DVD a few years ago, so haven't watched it in quite a few years, so I'm definitely looking forward to it. Next week, I'll just show you. We'll just reveal it after this. So that's going to do it for this episode, guys. This is going to be a very short episode, extremely short episode. It's almost 2 in the morning, so I'm probably not saying everything that I want to say about this movie, but it was awesome. Go check it out. So, with that being said, we're about to reveal next week's movie. I just want to thank y'all for watching this episode. Appreciate it. Appreciate the support. Hope y'all enjoyed it. And I'll see you on the next video. Y'all take care.